You guys, yesterday was Rosh Hashanah, which is the new year for the Jews. And Ronnit was like completely high on morphine, and we celebrated Rosh Hashanah, which was like really cool. I think that's a cool story. I told her that she needs to tell that story on stage, because taken out of context, you know, she's in the hospital, so she's on the drip. But taken out of context, that's really, really funny. Like, some jokes are funnier because of the context, and other jokes are funnier without the context, you know? Like, there's this dude on the internet that I really, really like. He annoys me sometimes, but he's a Zoomer. So his whole generation completely revolves around technology. But so many people give the Zoomers such a hard time, but they forget the fact that all these other generations just went along with technology. That's the main reason why the Zoomer generation is so useless, okay? So you can't get mad at them, because they're literally the product of all of these other generations' bad decisions. So that's what I think about. But anyway, this kid, he gets a lot of flack because he makes a lot of statements that are seen as, like, you know, real provocative and shit. And I do think that he's a provocateur to some extent, but I also think that he's, like, extremely passionate about what he believes. You so could have gone, you stupid ass Ford F-150 piece of shit. You so could have gone, but you chose not to because you're a fucking weak ass little bitch. You see, not all female drivers have to be female, right? Right? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a cunt sometimes. I get mad. I get mad because I have a bias towards females. And I'm a woman. But I've always had this man inside my head, like, constantly yelling. And so my animus is enlarged, okay? You don't have to understand. But if you want to know what I'm talking about, you can look it up. A lot of men have an enlarged anima, which is the woman inside of their head. And they're probably way more annoying, like this driver that's in front of me right now, okay? I'm not advocating for women to be masculine, though, because I don't think that that's a good thing. It's just that I'm naturally that way, and I can't much help it. Trust me, I've tried. So, I'm just naturally this way. And I think about, like, growing up right now, and how horrible that's gotta be. It's like, anybody obsessing about identity politics is stupid, because this is literally affecting, like, every identity group. It really is, if you think about it. And most people are too fucking selfish and narcissistic, so they want to make it all about them, or they want to make it all about a particular group of people. Like, that's the whole, like, red pill thing. They want you to think that, oh, women have it so easy. Look, I understand, like, in regards to the legal system, I mean, there's definitely a lot going against men right now. But if you think girls have it easy, I mean, look at all this stuff that we're subjected to on a regular basis. I mean, and it's shit that's been subjected to women for decades. It's decades of brainwashing. It's decades of propaganda. It's decades of bullshit. in order to dumb women down even more than we already are naturally, because our emotions just make us think that we're entitled. So it's like, I understand the psychological trauma that is just being a woman, because it's like society pretty much encourages us to always play victim and always keep whining about our circumstance. Because the more people that play the victim, and no, I'm obviously not just talking about women now, the more people that play the victim, like the more power the government has, the more power shitbags that work for the government. Obviously, I mean, it's all like with the sole purpose of making us dependent on anything but ourselves, okay? And so they have to divide the country. They have to divide these groups of people. And that's the case with all these different identity groups. There are people in that identity group that play the victim, and there are people that are in that identity group that do the opposite, and they try to make the most out of their circumstance. Now, I don't think it's black or white. I don't think it's all nature or all nurture, okay? Genetics play a part, culture plays a part, trauma plays a huge part, okay? So all these people that want to simplify it and just make it about one thing or two things or three things, like, those people are retarded, dude. They're so infantilized. They use the technology to infantilize people even more than the propaganda has already pushed them to be. So, anyway, oh yeah, foliage. Look at the foliage. It's way better than looking at me. But, what was I talking about originally? Oh yeah, I was talking about Ronnit. There were these two nurses. We all broke bread, and we drank grape juice. It's supposed to be red wine, but it's grape juice. This Hebrew non-additive, no sugar added grape juice, and we dipped the bread in salt. It's like a Jewish tradition. They dip the bread in salt for the whole, like, symbolic purpose of being the salt of the earth. And then we had apples and we dipped them in honey. It was really good. But yeah, interesting. I celebrated that with her, but like the day before, I was at my church singing, because I'm in the choir. But I mean, like, you don't have to be in the choir to sing. That's what's really cool about it. It's like, most people know the hymns, so they sing along. But yeah, we were celebrating the what do you call it? Upholding of the cross. Well, because the cross was buried under a pagan temple. And so, you know, when the priest was talking about discovering this cross, you know, just how much of a revelation that is. Like that, he was saying that that's our Independence Day. Because, you know, we need to remember that we have salvation. So I just find that interesting. That was like the day before, in the Orthodox Church, the day before we celebrated that, and then the next day was Rosh Hashanah. But anyway, holidays all around, right? You can celebrate other people's holidays with them. You don't have to be of that specific religion or anything.
you can still enjoy it and still appreciate what they enjoy about it, you know? A lot of people don't know that because they'd probably say I was like wrong for doing that. No, it was very special. It was very special. Like, doing that at a hospital, you know? With people that I'll probably never see again. But that's like one of those things that you remember forever. I mean, at least I will. But you know, I tend to really hate holidays. You probably already gathered that much about me. I mean, I used to hate Christmas so much that I literally put up Christmas lights the day after Christmas to celebrate the fact that it was over, okay? That was before I became a Christian. That was during my little secular, you're not my dad phase. So, I know the Lord forgives me for that.